Day 36. I'm home. Well, not quite. 20 k's to go and I'll be there. Just done 14,800 k's when I left here 36 days ago. The plan was to get to Steep Point, the most western point, and turn around and come back to Byron Bay, the most eastern point, and we done that. Thanks, Wheelie, you're a champion. I've got to thank Tanya. I've missed you, and I can't say enough anyway. 14,800 k's on a 2012 690. Yeah, it's got 92,800 k's on it now. Yeah, we had our fun and games. We fixed them. We kept going. That was part of the fun of it all. Would I be happy to climb back on the bike tomorrow and do another day? No worries. It was good. Am I happy to not have to do that tomorrow? Oh yeah. Sleep in my own bed? Oh yeah. Anyway, thank you all for your supportive words. Anyone who's helped us along the way, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Any comments and that have come through social media, thank you very much. Had little chuckles with them all. To anyone who's given us a beer at the end of the day out there, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, there's a few people I need to thank. Geraldton Motorcycles, their assistance over the other side there was great, both for Willie and myself. Person I really need to thank is Wheelie. Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure doing the ride with you. Couldn't have had a better person with me. Yeah, you put me out of my comfort zone at times and that, but yeah, we did it. Finding the coffee houses and the restaurants, you're a champion, mate. They were all top notch. Wherever we went, I don't think we had too bad of a feed. We're still going anyway. So anyway, I've got 20 k's to go and I'll be home. Thank you everyone, talk to you later. Hi everyone, Rossi here. Welcome back. I thought I'd give you a bit of an update on the coast to coast and back trip. It's basically end of December now, so 6 months since we've got back. I'm currently, well, you'll be watching this on day 36 of the vids, which is the day I got home. I thought I'd give you a bit of an update on the trip. As you'd see, we done 15,000 Ks. I've got a sheet here, good old spreadsheet. It works great. So fuel costs and that, just sort of pretty boring stuff and that for you. Basically, 1,540 bucks in fuel costs us to do that 15,000 Ks. We use I used 680 Ks, litres of fuel there. Averaged it out. Cost per litre worked out about $2.25 and that. We used 91, 95. Most of the time I ran 91 and that. The L690, she's not fancy. It takes 91, it loves it. We put a bit of Opal in there as well too. Every so often I shouted it and gave it a bit of 95. It wasn't often. It averaged out about 22.3 Ks to a litre on the fuel wise. Out of that whole trip, the 36 days away, we camped 19 nights. Basically, sometimes it was in van parks, sometimes it was just side of the road in the scrub. And they were probably the best camping spots. They were just, quite relaxing. 6 months after getting back, still getting over, I wouldn't say getting over, but it was a pretty decent feat on doing, to basically go from the east coast across to the west, turn around and come back again. We didn't do it in as direct as line as we wanted to. We wanted to basically, once we hit Coober Pedy, we wanted to go down to the Flinders Ranges and across to Cameron's Corner and across to Burke. However, the Strzelecki track was flooded and basically remained closed for, I think, probably about a month after we went through. So what we done is we just basically punted it down to Yunta, across to Broken Hill and back up to Burke, which sent us up along the Darling River. And that was still an awesome ride. There's some beautiful country out there. Flat, goddamn flat, all right. Like, you rode for 100 Ks and you change 1 metre in elevation. So you can see why that country floods so much. It was only 2 weeks ago, basically start of December, that I actually pulled the 690 out. It's there covered up at the moment and that, but I finished doing maintenance to it. I checked the valves once after I got back, like, and I would say I only just finished doing it. So during the trip, we changed the oil at Alice Springs, then again at Geraldton, then again at Coober Pedy, then back home here I'd done another oil change. So never had an issue there at all. The valves, when I checked them after 15,000 Ks, spot on. I didn't adjust them. They were still at sort of max clearance, and that's where I like having them. Lots of clearance, not too much, but what should be there. So I was expecting them to closed up a little bit, but it hadn't. So that was a tick for the old girl. It's still got Ks in it, and I'll probably keep using it. I can carry 36 litres on that bike between the two front tanks, the rear tank, which is standard, and the 6 litres under the seat. So that gives me a good 700k range, and those trips out the back there, I'm never looking for fuel. It's always nice not having to worry about when the next servo is and how far away it is. There were sections out there where we strap bladders on, and I work on the theory of multiple bladders. So if one busts, you've still got another one there. So I run the 8 litre bladders, 2 of them, the ADV Works ones. I generally, and I've used them when I've done the Simpson crossing a couple of years ago. The straps, the stitching pulled out on them. So what I do now is when I buy them, I send them straight to the upholsterer and get them sewed up a bit more, put more stitching in that straps and that. The bags I have anti-straps takeoffs. I got them, a friend made them for me from the anti-straps, but we done mods to them and I didn't have a problem with them at all. They're a great bag. I run heavy liners on the inside and that, then I put my stuff inside smaller bladders and that, like waterproof bags. Carry all my tools and that in there. Then I have a 30 litre bag on the back, which is basically just me tent, camping gear, and that's really what I carry. So carry spares, certain amount of spares, and as you would have seen during the trip and that, we had a few problems. I had an electrical gremlin that kept popping its head up, but what kept me going, and I put this on the bike several years ago for when I was going to do the Simpson crossing and that, is I got on the inside of my pannier rack, I've got another box, a sealed box, and inside that is a battery, the same size battery as what's on the bike, and in there is also a Red Arc 6 amp DC-DC charger. So, and I've got an Anderson plug on the outside, and off my main battery I've got another lead and an Anderson plug. So on those couple of times when the bike battery did go flat, well, it was only a matter of cutting a couple of cable ties, smack the plug in, and I was on my way again. It failed completely as we're heading to Carnegie Station along the gun barrel highway. I wouldn't really call it much of a highway, more like a track. Freaking awesome track, but yeah, it's no highway. So it kept us going. I was having those faults and that, and I couldn't quite work it out. Like I was testing, I didn't have a multimeter on me, but at Carnegie Station I got a hold of a multimeter there, and I was testing it out, and it wasn't showing that it was faulted. So all I can put it down to is once it started heating up and under load, that's when it was breaking down. However, once again, on day 3 I had a problem with it. Put the auxiliary battery, plugged the auxiliary battery into the system and that, got to Windora and unplugged it all, and the bike started and ran. And it ran for another week before the gremlin showed its head again. And that's what was throwing me, because I was thinking, oh, I've got an earth fault, I've got something else. At Geraldton, I was riding to the bike shop, basically to go and see them and get bits and pieces. Anyway, I missed the bike shop, so I was going around the block again, and I got halfway around the block and it failed again, so I pushed it into the bike shop. I wasn't very happy. If the bike shop had a bit of a selection of motorbikes there, I probably would have traded the girl in and ridden back on something else. However, they didn't. So it come down to stripping the bike and trying to find out what it was. They were awesome. I can't thank Matt and his crew there. They gave me a little bit of space out the back and that, and I delved into it. We pulled the pin on sitting there going, get us another regulator rectifier. We stuck that in the next day, and I didn't have any problems coming home, so tick the box. Wheelie had his radiator issues, and every day he was pulling that radiator out, patching it up, keep it going, and that. We were at Carnegie Station there, and making phone calls, sending emails, even at Ayers Rock and that, we're sending emails. And they organised, Geraldton, KTM, Sun City Motorcycles, organised a replacement radiator to be sitting there waiting for us when we got there. So that was Wheelie's little job when he got to Geraldton, is pull that the old radiator out, put the new one in. What we sort of suspect there is he's running the 700 hard kit, and when that radiator's in there, it's solid, it didn't move. And that's what we sort of think is the problem with those bikes, is the radiator's too rigid. So the bike's flexing and moving, everything's flexing and moving, but the radiator's not, and it's solid, so it's just fatiguing. So he modified the mounts and that so the radiator could move, and once again, got him home, no worries at all. So he's been out again since then on it, no issues and that. So it'll be a longevity sort of thing, see how long it lasts, but I think that was his 3rd radiator he's put into it, and we're sort of thinking that's what the issue is there. We had a mate who also had 690 with the hard kit on it, and he also had he didn't have radiator issues, the previous owner had radiator issues and that, so we're sort of thinking that's possibly one reason behind it all. So, but anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the videos. It's more of a recollection for us, our memories and that, and that's why I've done each day as it is and that. It's just a photo shoot. I did have the Insta360 X4 as my camera to run on. I didn't use it all the time, but I used it at times, and as you would have seen, in the desert or in those back roads where it's just corrugations, I didn't bring it out because and you're just on open dirt roads, so you just see straight sections and lots of the same thing. It's pretty boring, but like to be doing it, it's just awesome, absolutely awesome. So how did it come about? Prior planning, preparation, piss poor performance is what got us into it, and that's what got us out of it and that as well too, and back home again safely. One flat tyre, Wheelie got a nail in it as we're got onto the dirt, heading out to Steep Point, picked up a nail on the road. Like, just really? Anyway, pulled the tyre off, out with that tube, in with another one, and off we go again. Having tubes, it's not a problem. Enjoy it. Enjoy the half hour it takes, hour, whatever it takes, and that, to pull over, pull it out, fix it, get going again. Yeah, your mates might give you a bit of banter and that, but that's part of the fun, mate. Enjoy it. If you don't know how to do tyres, do them here. Do them in the shed. Practice here. Don't take your tyre to the bike shop and sit there and go, put a new tyre on it for me. I'm too lazy. Well, lazy teaches you nothing, mate. Enjoy it. Get home, get your knuckles bloodied. You probably might get a bit of blood on those first few, but you'll work it out in an easy way. Tube tyres are easy to take off the rim compared to a tubeless tyre, and why is that? Well, tubeless, you don't want them coming off. It's got to keep the air in there, so they're going to make it harder for it to come off. So anyway, rim lock, stop them moving. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. Yeah, it's the first of many. There's plans to do more things than that. Plan to do the APC rally this year. I'm not a big fan on paying for tracks, however, I'm going to go and do it. The boys talked me into it. They're all keen. I love creating tracks, looking at the base camp, looking at Gaia, working out where to go. So in August 2026, I want to do another run out through the middle again, do some things we didn't do some more iconic tracks, go and see a bit more of the country that Len Bedell mapped, put roads through, go and see what they're like. So anyway, thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed watching and One Eye Adventures. See yous.